Nigeria's latest unemployment report for the second quarter shows that the rate of unemployment among young people aged between 15 and 34 rose to 34.9% from 29.7% previous, while the rate of underemployment for the same age group climbs to 28.2% from 25.7%. So when you look at all of this, how can Nigeria tap into this youth between 15 and 34 age into productive agribusiness industry? And that's what Akin Alabi of Corporate Farmers International is chatting to me about. It's good to see you, my friend. Good evening.
Wilson, good evening.
Great. So where do the responsibilities of the government lie in discovering agribusiness talent in young people like you?
Well, most importantly, the government must provide an enabling platform, that will bring in Nigerian youth together and find a space or a voice in the agricultural sector, because agribusiness sector is the largest sector that can actually accommodate both the skilled and the unskilled. So it means that it's so big that it can help accommodate the level of unemployment today in Nigeria. So therefore, it gives federal government a good angle to focus more on that agribusiness sector to help reduce the growing rate of unemployment in Nigeria.
I've always wondered, Aki, how the government can build that sustainable environment. If you want to rear chicken, by the way, you need to have a very good environment. Yeah. If not, they're going to just die of flu or whatever it is. So, the same thing if you're doing fish farming, for example, the environment has to be conducive.
Very well.
So if the government considers youths like yourself assets and consider you as a veritable asset, how does the government build such an environment for youths to participate in agriculture and not the way our fathers and forefathers did?
Okay, thank you again, Bolson. It's quite simple. You see, the role of the government is basically to provide that enabling environment. Now, that environment will now attract private stakeholders to invest more in the agribusiness sector. And good enough, today we've been getting or having a lot of young folks, private stakeholders, industries that are supporting and injecting more in terms of funding, in terms of resources, in capital, wealth, intelligence into that agribusiness space. And it's helping out. But again, we still need more intervention from the government in terms of land resources, in terms of policy. For example, a thing that was created maybe 4 years with a particular minister era automatically changes when another one comes in. It's not going to help the sector. So it means that government needs to focus on good enabling environments and also supporting private folks, investors, corporate Nigeria, to give them an environment where they could be able to invest more and grow the agribusiness sector, which is even growing today. And we are much excited about it. Folks like us that have been there for the past 13 years, are excited that yes, today it wasn't like the way it was over 30 years ago to where we are now. We have younger folks that have seen the light, that, go into the industries yearly, daily, monthly, and we're excited about it.
And this is where we want to share your field experience. Based on what I know, the you folks, corporate farmers, you've had relationship with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, with the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. You've been to a number of universities across Nigeria. You've interfaced with a number of state governments. What's your experience across when we talk about youths who are between this unemployment age of 15 and 34? Okay,
thank you again, Bolson. We've started this journey, which you call evangelism years back, and we've been able to discover agribusiness talents, across all scopes. For example, we could say that we've gone to virtually all university campus in Nigeria today via a program we're currently running on called Connect to Work, bringing in folks that are players, those that have interest in Nigerian agribusiness sector, folks that have much, energy to put in the agribusiness sector. And that had helped us to develop and see that Nigeria has huge potentials, basically in its young agripreneurs, let me use the language, agripreneurs. And it's high time for us to begin to tap into them. So our field experience has gone vast. You know, for example, bringing in from the Nigerian Stock Exchange, have been able to bring in what we call innovative financing to support the agribusiness sector, have been able to play with the CIS in building a capacity structured well ecosystem in the educational part, which we call agri-education, you know, bringing in professionals to also discuss, you know, how agriculture can be well perceived and how it can relate well to the private sector.
I'm talking about your experience at the university's campuses.
Oh, that has been massive. You know, for example, let me just give you one instance. For example, I'm going to pick a school like Obafemi Awolowo University. You know, you can imagine that agriculture is one of their biggest courses. And most of the agripreneurs or student agripreneurs of that particular institution are doing so well. You know, when you meet them on fields most time, you see the energy, the passion, basically, which they've actually imputed, you know, in that course, and the results we are getting. So even in our movement on Connect to Work, we're excited that, look, we have younger folks that have the energy and are excited about it, and they're able to produce, aggregate, you know, but basically the level where they might find some challenges is the finance, because they have the passion, they have the energy and everything, but when the finance is not there, they're a little bit despaired, and you know, we have to inject a couple of startup funds for them and say, guys, look, we can get this done. So we've been able to, the progress has been enormous. We've seen the excitement.
So have you been getting support? We have about a minute or so. Has there been support from the private sector, maybe banks or other institutions?
Oh yes. You know, currently, if I could mention names, but we've been getting support. For example, we have likes of Cellulant that's been supporting, you know, these younger folks across all campuses, from the co-founder, Bolaji Akinboro, and also we have the MasterCard Foundation with their Connect to Work program, going from campus to campus to support this movement. So it's been interesting. It's just for us to also see where the challenges are, and also help them, you know, encourage them that Nigeria is going to be a better place. And agriculture, as I tell you, Bosin, it is the biggest sector that can accommodate and help federal government to reduce unemployment in Nigeria today, with the level of agribusiness talent we have gotten today and the potential of these young agripreneurs we have today in Nigeria.
What about crowdfunding?
Oh, well, yeah, crowdfunding, that is another angle where the private sector needs to come in, you know, where you talk about innovative financing. You know, the banks cannot be the one providing finance for the agriculture sector alone. So we have to look for another dimension, which we call innovative financing, talk to the likes of the NSC, capital markets, players in the capital markets, other private sector, to bring in crowdfunding, you know, and other funding processes that can help develop the agro space. And crowdfunding, again, is also regulated by SEC and all that. So these are channels, processes in which we can bring in different funding styles or funding patterns to grow the agri space, so that we don't rely alone on our commercial banks to fund the agribusiness sector.
We're encouraged by what you're telling us tonight. Akin Alabi of Corporate Farmers International, thank you very much, and wish you all the best in your endeavor, and other youths, millions of you out there.